What is going on, guys? And today we are back in the mix. Playing two tables right now. One of Chop Shop and the other of Super Circus. Interesting hand here on the other table. We got a range that's probably 100%. We make jacks and nines. Jacks and fours early on, plus nines. Let's call down. And we lose to queens and threes, ironically. All right, here, ace, queen, fours. All right. Chop Shop on the other table we have, we are playing Big Easy over here. Look at the ace, king, queen, 4, 8. This is not a hand that I really want, but I also think I have in a three-way pot with ace, king, queen, double, triple. I think I'm probably getting the right price here to call it off. And we do not get any of that. The jack 8, ace deuce 3, jack 8 is going to get a lot of it. All right. I like these little sizes just a little bit better. And when we get repotted, I think we just call here. Never folding now with aces and sevens and nut low. Kind of rapish. And we'll just put them all in. Kind of, I mean, it's going to go in this pretty shallow, pretty easy. That is a really, really, really weak 3-bet. And that's why that hand is going to get scooped by like a lot of ace randoms. So we get our money back on the very next pot. And it's a fun game because sometimes you just, the money's just going to go in. A lot of gambling. And even on the next one here with the ace, king, queen, 10, 9, 3. I think my hand's it's probably okay as a 3-bet, but I think I want a suited ace at least, so I'm going to start with a call here. Then on this board texture with a 9 and 3 overcards, I think I'm going to check raise and just get it in. Even though we only have one backdoor flush draw here. But I think this is better as a pot and get in than anything else. And then obviously on the turn we make nut low, nut pair. We were hoping for another high card, but he only has $11, so we're not getting it in here. And again, pretty weak holding, and he scoops us on the river when we catch the ace. We were actually scooping him on the turn. Kind of a brutal river, obviously. And that's why you usually don't leave home without the aces in this game. And gonna figure that was gonna happen at a pretty high frequency, but the limp raise here. But given the price, probably just have to limp in once and then fold to the raise. But as always, if you guys like what you see, please like and subscribe. Questions or comments down below. Again, I have a special offer going on right now. If you use code LMG at signup or use the link below, and this is your first time deposit, you will get 7-6 here in bid AC. You will get a 200% deposit bonus plus up to 4,000 USDT. And I'm always willing to help anyone out who needs help. Here with the ace 3, 4, 6, 9, we're going to ditch the 9 Badoogie. And over on the Big Easy table, we get repotted, but we're calling with this combo. And we flop Jinsky and Hutchky. So this is just going to get all in. Easy call off, obviously. And then on the other table, we have ace deuce 3, 4. But the ace deuce 3, 4 throws anyway. And we get lose another one. Turn nut low, turn nut flush draw, nut straight. Oh, fun game. I didn't even think I showed that one. I should show that one in a second. I get it. Basebaldy poker! Come on over, big guy. Pat. We got ace 3, 4 with a 7 low. good enough to pat and just bet down. Other table, we got the drama doogie, we got the 10 doogie in a 3-handed game. And we get the ace deuce 4 was good. And then we're dealt a 6 on the button over here, back to back. And we flop the nut straight with the 10 badoogie, so we pot this one. And we are patting the 6 low over on the other table. Nothing else to do except keep the deuce 3-4 with the 6 low. We're going to 3-bet this hand. Got the nuts plus 10 badoogie. And when it goes pat-pat, I'm pretty sure I'm just free-rolling here. And the board did not pair, which is good news. And we do scoop that one. And we got check raised on a 2. This is close. I think I'm going to call between 3-betting and this is obviously not good, but I can't break my hand, so I mean, when it goes check check, I have to bet the 6 low. I think. I don't think my opponent's going for a random check raise here. It's just too good. Yeah, he's got a 7 low and a 3 card. Oh, we scoop it. Oh my goodness, our 3 card was better. We will take it. Let's see here. But ace, we got 4-5. We're calling. We're going to take 3 here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1 is the best badoogie. Catch a 3 card 5 in a 3-3 spot. Just going to call. Maybe do some raising. We've got some good blockers, but. He's pat. All right. I mean, usually from like a 3 to pat is pretty wide range, but can't continue really here when no improvement. We do make the badoogie, so we technically improve, but it's almost close to it's very close to kind of like making the same hand there with 3 card 5. It's probably not the same in this game because it's 5 cards, but we can't call down there with a queen hoping to get half, lighting money on fire. Okay, we got deuce 7 Raz on the other table. It's kind of an interesting spot here with the king, the jack, and the ace. Limp the king behind. And the jack probably has a really wide range here. Not folding no when he catches a 3. Still calling 9 draw. He's catching really good, so are we. I mean, I'm kind of compelled here to throw a raise in, but I think I'm going to just call. And if he bets river, just call. I think raising the 9-6 is somewhat loose, and we get him to bet off pretty light with a jack. So we kept him in, I think, probably drawing dead there more often than not. Over here we have the 7, 3 card 7 on the button, and we're going to open. And then Raz, we have the 2, 3, 6. Got hands galore everywhere. We make a 7 badoogie on the other table. Did get check raised on the first draw. And this one. Pomsky is debating what to do. Obviously bet a 7 here. And when he's tanking, more often than not, I think we're going to win. Deuce 7 Raz. Pretty wide-ranging spot. Just keep betting. Obviously, we have an 8 draw here. Huge favorite. Even though he probably has the best hand here right now with queen. Not much he can do. And that one. We will try to keep these tables correct in the hands we are describing. Here we're gonna, let's see, we got the Badoogie draw, we got Ace Deuce 4 over on the other table. It goes check, check, interesting. Alright, so now we got a 9 draw against a hand that's more often than not probably a pair. So we're gonna check call again. And then on the river here, it's really close to a bet. To be honest, I think we're just gonna check call again. And yeah, let him bluff it off again. And then over on the other Badoogie table, we did get raised here when we bet the Ace Deuce 4. And I don't love it because we check raised the first draw, we led the second draw, and then we got padded. I mean, this is a hand that should mostly always be, I think, a call. But given the way that it's played, I mean, I feel like we just run into a Badoogie so often, so. But man, I still don't think I can fold Ace Deuce 4. So yeah, he's got a 6, nice hand. It's just really hard, I think, for my opponent to have it there, or not have it there the way as played. Ace 8 in the small is kind of close. Badoogie over here, we have 2-6-9 in a heads up spot, and in a 2-1 spot, I think we're just gonna fold. Badoogie goes 2-2. Check. We make Ace Deuce 3. And trying to get a game in the fun mix because we haven't played fun mix for a while. We are 3-handed here, so 2, 3, 4 here on the button. Let's see. Not trying to slow this one down either. 4, 5, 6, and let's see, 1, 2, 3. We do make the Jack Badoogie. And there's one draw left. We're calling, and we're probably keeping the Jack. Yeah, we're going to keep the Jack. Oh, what a bad river. Alright, got me. Yeah. What a bad river that was, unfortunately. Let's see here. 17, 4, 6. I don't think we're getting the right price here in this situation. I think we're going to fold. We got dealt number 3 on the other one, and then we got a walk, so this has got to be close. With the rake, probably folding is fine. Usually in time games, I would say, like, if you're going to open 1 card draws on the button heads up, it's probably okay. But with the rake factor in play, I think probably folding is just a little bit better at some of these limits. And here with a 3-card 5 against Ken, I mean, I think we're going to be pretty sticky with it. We might probably just get this to showdown unless you like Pats here. And again, this is just super tricky because we really can't... the problem is we're just going to check call and check call twice. So I think once you pass, I think we actually just have to fold our hand. Draw Maha Deuce to 7 on the other table. And we get a pretty bad flop, so I'm just going to check this one back. And we're going to have to ditch one here. And we do make a flush draw and a jack low. And win that one in Omaha 8. This is, I think we're just going to call here. Like, against any of his realistic 1-card draws here, we're not like pushing a ton of equity, and we don't have like nutted hands by any means at this point. And he does go deuce deuce for the scoop. On the table, we got 3-bet pre-flop. No raising going on at this point. This is just a call, double gutter, ace 5 low draw. Run out's kind of interesting. I mean, I honestly think this is probably a candidate to consider calling down, but the problem is we do have a 5 in our hand, which we don't want. but I think I'm going to call this one off. He does have a 10. All right. Not sure if that was a bluff or a value bet. Three bet the double suited ace, king, queen, jack. I get a really bad flop. Just pretty much check fold on it. Do get a three, but this is can be one I think we can represent some threes sometimes. Then on the ace river, it's kind of the same thing. Like, I think I'm going to bet ace king for value here. Guys are getting a little preview into the mind of the heads up 08 here on the 3 flush board. A board that we do a lot of checking on in general. I think we can go ahead and check this one and just evaluate turn. And then we're obviously paying off the river here when we get here, so. Oh boy. Well, that was another good river for that hand. He makes a good value bet too. Here on the button with the 10-9-2-7. And the other table we make aces with the ace-high flush, and we get raised on the river. I'm usually going to say this is 3-5, so we're just calling. We actually scooped that hand. Probably should have put one more bet in. All right, it goes bet call. So usually we're going to run into a 4 here. And it's not, I'm not loving my draw considering that the 4, 4, and 6 are dead and I need all of them. But taking one. Now this is usually going to be some sort of high hand at this point. It's going to be hard for him to beat my jack when they both go 2. And unless we make something on the river, I'm not raising. Yeah, he did not, but he did have 4 6s. Turned his hand face up for the most part, I think, when he led there and took 2. That's why we got to be really sticky in those situations when our opponent takes 2, because their average hand is going to be something like King Jack or King 9. I forget which one it is. All right, Big O capped in this spot. Do flop 3 4s against Ken. I think start with a check and maybe just go for a check raise pot at 40 bigs. Not the best turn we want to see. I think we just go for another check here at this point. Does bet pop, probably still calling. Don't love that we have like a 9 or 10 in our hand, but still calling, not folding yet. There are just some rivers. And we have the 6 of diamonds here, which is kind of a key card. I'm going to check it, and if he bets, I'm just going to go all in. I do have a live ace and 4 is full, so hopefully I can get him to fold some flushes. This is kind of like the bottom end of the range for the most part, for sure. Over on the other table. Oh, I had the wrong table up. So here, we shoved it, and then over here we have the 9 pat. And he does fold, so obviously a nice little pickup for us there. And we have a very pretty hand over here with the 9-6-2-7. After we got to 4-bet pre-flop, and we're just going to bet. And obviously having a 3, 4, and 8 on the board is extremely good for us because it gives my opponents less opportunity to outdraw me. Here we limped against Ken and flop really good. We flop a set and open-ended. Open-ended to a wheel and a 6-eye straight. And it looks like we turned something. We do turn a flush draw, 2 pair. We are open-ended. We don't have that magical 5 yet, though. Interesting Mango takes 2 here. Unless he raised the button with kind of like a weakish hand. Do make top 2. So I would say we scoop here a fair bit, given this action. My opponent here is 10-7. Possible 5-7. Those are combos. Jack 9. He had 9s and 8s, and we had 9s and 6s. Okay. Can't be mad the way we played that one. All right, stud hello regular. Back on the big O table here. Nothing really going right now. Where'd my music go? There we go. Again, these raises in Big O, for the most part, if you kind of... usually when you look at... I guess if you go to something like PLO Mastermind, in a lot of the solves they have pre-flop, they give you kind of different options. It's like 2.5x raise pre-flop, you know, usually like small raise sizes in tournaments, full pot pre-flop, then you have like limp plus pot option kind of thing. So I would say, like, for the most part in these 40 big blind cap games, like, there's a fair bit of limping, there's a fair bit of small raising, and then probably some of your select hands you want to be 5x raising. Because, again, in this game it's a little bit different because you get to add the dead money in there, and also you have the option to repot given the dead money. And I would have to imagine that because the threat of lowering the SPR is so high that you want to probably pick more of like a smaller raise size is my guess. And then there's certain hands that just want to get it in, so it just kind of like opens up for full pot. And then obviously if someone just repots it, they just get it in. My guess is in the solver, like, there's definitely going to be a few hands that open for pot and then fold, you know, kind of like your ones that have blockers, maybe like your like ace 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 combos that are like not really super good is my guess. Kind of hands like that for the most part, like maybe like your ace deuce deuce, like 9-10s that might open for full pot and then just fold to a repot. But for the most part, I have to imagine if you're opening full pot pre-flop, the majority of those hands are just going to want to get it in pre-flop as well. All right, here in high-low stud regular with the ace and the 5 in our hand. And again, I think this re-steal is going to be pretty wide. We're going to try to get this one heads. We're going to get this one heads up, I believe. And then on the other table over here, we have the 7, 7, 8. Not folding this one, obviously. We do get 3-bet on the other table. We're just going to call. It's obviously not good because this card for his range is obviously super good, especially since we have one of the 5s in our hand. Now we have 3 5, so now we have 2 5, so it's very unlikely that he paired that card. And we're just going to call again because most likely at this point he has some sort of wheel draw, gut shot. And unfortunately, like, we're kind of in call down mode at this point. The only saving grace is we can still technically scoop this hand if he paired. If he did not pair that 3, then we're probably up against a straight. But we're also not folding this one, I think, at this point. So, and well, he does have a 6-high straight. I just 2, 3. I'm just wondering what the combination was that he had in his hand. So, kind of an interesting one over here. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and bet this one off. I think this is gonna become like a kind of a bluff hand with us. Actually, yeah, I think we're just gonna bluff this one off now. Does have jacks and 9, so he river 2 pair. I think that was probably a good combo to consider. Gut shot, flush draw, and a baby pair, considering the bluff combos. Probably checking 7s and betting like deuces there if I had like split deuces. Here Ken opens a king into an ace, and you would think in this situation here that king has got a stronger range for sure. But once we catch an ace and we call pre-flop, we're just betting. And betting again. And betting again. And not betting the river, even though we do catch the pesky jack. And he does have queens. And then over on the other table playing Archie 6-6, and we get dealt trips. And we do get the original folder to fold, which is super good for us. And Mango 5 bets us, which is not good. But still, I want to hide my range a little bit here and not draw 2. I'd rather keep like the king. And again, like, Mango is basically representing trips in this situation. So, I mean, he could have like aces up because I unblock the aces. But no, he's taking 2, so it's more likely he has trips. But I still would not want to give that information away. I actually went over this with him. It could be hilarious if he shows up with trips in this situation. I mean, there's not really much that I can do. I mean, I really want to make a tight fold, but I also want to just call down to like show you guys like if he's you know taking trips like this, he shouldn't be doing this. And I went over this with him already, so he shouldn't be turning his hand face up like this. This is a mistake on his part. Drama Hut deuce to 7 heads up. I do 3-bet the king jack 9 8 4. I think my opponent's gonna have a fair bit of draw 2s. And then I'm gonna check call and I think draw 1 at the jack. See if it can help me out a little bit more. The king's not doing anything for me. And Ken Pats. Ken most likely has an ace in his hand, I would think. I mean, it's possible he doesn't, but I'm not folding a jack either. So he pips me on the low and we have the same high. And then we're delta 10 over here. And we're wrapped around the 5-4, so very nice starting hand here. We do make the nut straight, flush draw, and we got a 10 low. And did we just... make a big hand over here. We get to raise the river. And then, yep, we scoop him. All right. All right, here we're in an interesting Archie hand. We have ace king high in a 1-1 spot. It's gone 1-1 all the way down. And then on the river, once our opponent passes, just got to make a flush. We do. And if he bets, we're going to check raise. We're going to definitely raise with the ace king high flush. We beat straights and weaker flushes. And if we get 3-bet, we just call. Yeah. I actually don't like that 3-bet at all. There's no hand that he can scoop. He can only get scooped, so. He probably just thinks like I have some sort of, I don't even know, honestly. Like I can raise 7-6 on that river. I don't think I'm raising 7-6 on that river at all. Maybe some 6s, but I can definitely, if I raise that river, I can for low, I can definitely beat 7-5, as I like to call it, perfectly rough. Other table, black at PL08, 4-card, Omaha 8 or better, but with pot limit. This is a great game. This is a lot of fun. Here with the ace, this is one of those hands that you definitely want to probably raise full pot. If you can get maximum fold equity. If you see a flop, it's not a big deal. But with no backdoor or with no low equity on the ace, king, king, queen side, you only have high equity. Getting a fold is obviously nice too. Where's my music, man? All right, tricky one here in Archie. And again, this is where I think there's some merit here to folding. Or if we do call, I think we are going to call and break the 9 of diamonds against cutoff button 3-bet. And it goes pat. Interesting. think against the pat range, I think we want to call and break off the 7 and draw smoother to the 6 and ditch the flush draw. And, well, we catch number 2, which is going to go for the check raise here for sure. But again, I definitely want to get more playability. And against the 3-bet, we're just against the 3-bet, we're definitely 4-betting. The only hand that scoops us at this point is a wheel, and this hand is squeezed in. And if he wants to try to jam Mango out, it's good for me because if he's got a low hand, I can scoop this pot. Yeah, and we beat the 7, and that's unfortunate too because Mango did have the high. But if Mango folds the high in that situation, then we scoop. All right, but ace deuce 3 here in the small blind. Archie over here 6-6. We're dealt the 8. And this is a hand, I think if we play especially 3-handed, we just raise pat. We don't want to fold a qualifying low with 0 cards, because now our opponent's guessing the whole way down. And my draw is not really good either way. Like if I had a smooth 6 draw here, it might be a little bit different, but at this point, I don't think there's anything else to do except just pat the 8. Just keep that. But ace on the other table, and then we got check raised here, so we're just gonna fold. And then in a 0 spot, Mango pats behind, and we're just gonna go ahead and check call. Now, if I had a good low here, I might go for a check raise. Yeah, and he scoops me. He misses a bet there for sure, with respect to that. All right, limit Omaha 8 or better here. King, queen, queen 4 on the button. 3-handed is still fold, even double suited, just too rough. Vidaci over here. Queen, queen in the muck. Actually, if Moxie comes along, this might be a call. Yeah, I actually think it's a call now. It's kind of gross, but probably getting the right price. And on that board texture, we just gotta let it go. And Moxie called with Ace Jack 9-7, and Pomsky raised the button with Jack 4-4 deuce. I don't think either one of those hands is actually a play. Alright, interesting here in stud high low regular. If my opponent here is limping, yeah, he limped a 3 and we just raised 4-4-9 and got a fold. I think Moxie's hand with Ace Jack 9-7 pre-flop probably wants the 3-better fold. It wants to get that equity with like the Ace 7 low and the Ace Jack 9 high potential. It wants to get it heads up, I believe. So I think if I had to guess, if you're playing there in that situation, especially against someone raising as wide as Jack 4-4 deuce on the button, you want a 3-bet to isolate. And then put some pressure on the big blind if they have any hand, any sort of strong hand. We are not playing Badugi on the other table, but we do have a nice ace, queen, deuce, 5. Even though it is rainbow, it is still definitely strong enough to open or 3-bet. And then here against Moxie's range, I still think we bet a pair plus nut flush draw. I'm sorry, plus low draw. Turn here. I think we're going to check this one with bottom pair. Really bad river card. And I'm probably going to pay it off because I think he has more lows in this situation, because that card should be pretty good for me. Yeah, so he has 3, 4, 5, 8. That's probably a little bit too loose to open with the triple suit. It's probably not bad in a 4-handed game considering your opponent decided to probably playing a few too many hands. Over here we kind of get in a quandary. Trying to get ourselves out of said quandary. Not looking great right now. We do block the 9, so if he had 3 pair, he would have been in a quandary. And we're playing Dramadugi on the other table. We do have King King. We're gonna start with a call here, I believe. Do have Jackson 8s with a King Badugi. I think this is one we're gonna go ahead and check call and just pat our hand and kind of hope for the best. If we make a full house, if we make something with showdown value, we'll be pretty happy. Pretty bad turn card. We still have 2 pair though, and we still have a Badugi, so. And then the River of the Ace is also somewhat of a bad card for us, obviously, because he now makes better 2 pair. Still calling. Yeah, he makes better 2 pair, but we were not folding. Archie, we're dealt trips again. Takes 3. Takes 1, we take 1. I think that's river, we just call. There might be a little value in raising, but not much, and he does have queens and 3s, so. 1 trips hold up. Three-handed game with queens, I think it's probably a 3-bet. Yeah, it's kind of gross now that we get jammed up. And again, I don't want to turn my hand face up. I mean, like, I'm almost kind of... Nah, I was going to say I'm almost want to draw at the 7-5, but that seems a little bit crazy to me. And it goes bet raise, so now I'm just done. Fun mix open. Well, the fun mix broke. They're playing 30-60 red. Oh, I guess the 4-8. No, it's still going 4-8. Alright, 3, 4, 6 on the button here I'm going to open. I'm not going to keep the 8. I would like to be able to make some 2 pairs, some straights. So we're going to call and draw 2 at that. No immediate improvement. We do pair 3s, but draw 2 again, I believe. And then we're just fold. If he checked here, it'd be interesting whether to try to keep the 4s and catch up somehow, but no immediate improvement, and we are done. Alright, sorry guys. My son came up and surprised me, so I had him in my lap for a little bit. Hope you guys got to see a straight flush or two that I made. Should pull this one. Where's the fun mix? Fun mix break. I was trying to get in the fun mix game because I haven't played that one in a little bit. Over on the other table, we're playing Medusi, and we have Deuce 8 on the button, but I think without any blockers, I think this is probably gonna be a fold. Same with Drama Doogie over here. I think it broke. Unfortunately. Deuce to 7 Raz now in the Chop Shop mix. I'm pretty sure, again, this is going to be a Raz Deucey holder when they get it. I think a couple people asked me, well, why do they have the placeholders in there? And honestly, that's probably a good question. I have 3060 Raz, but I'm not playing that one way or the other right now. Alright, 10-4-5 here. This is still going to be a play against D-Moose Steel. I mean, if D-Moose has 100% here, then this is kind of close to a 3-bet. But I think with the 10 we're calling, and we got to be really sticky now at this point, unless it catches like really gin. It's pretty gin, to be honest. Again, these like inverse implied spots are not great because usually in this situation, if he doesn't have the best hand already, he still has a good draw to beat me, and I have like no way to improve, so I'm kind of guessing. Wrong game for this one. Hey Kyle, not sure if you're muted on purpose. I'm muted? Let's see if I was muted. Alright, stealing here with 4-4-6. catch is good and we pair, so obviously fold. How are you, Jay? Not much to do here. He did limp, but just not continuing with the pair. Oh, good, good, good. What do they got going today, actually? 5-6 here in the small blind. I think we're going to open this one. Not the best, but still. And we make a 6 and a 9. I am going to go for the check raise. I think Ken can be pretty aggressive here, so pretty easy check raise, especially with the straight draw. We're going to keep the 9, so he does take 2 again, so worked out. And I think you should be going for a fair bit of check raises in that hand. What do we got going today on this site? 6 card PLO8. Big O. 2 mixed games we're in. 3060 res. 8160 Super Circus. PLO no limit. PLO 5. Do see, alright. There we go. Need those tournaments. I really do when they think. I think when they get those tournaments, it's I was saying yesterday, I was hoping they kind of bring back the whole full tilt vibe to it. F-top stuff like that. I think that would be great for the site. Kind of an interesting spot here with the 8 low, and we improve to an 8 and a 3 card 7. But I still think I'm going to just pat this hand. Kind of feels a little bit dirty, but honestly, if we get raised, it's kind of close. I think I'm still going to bet the river. And we scoop. All right. I think it's just thin on both sides of the coin. And we have 3-4-7 again. But yeah, I miss those days when you could, you know, come home, go on full tilt, play like a $50 tournament at night, and you know, $50 like Omaha tournament at night, win like a few $1,000s. Those were fun. So we'll see if they bring it back or not, but definitely the site has to grow to reach that point. Against the raise, we fold. And then limit Omaha 8 better. And this is just a board, I think, four-handed that we're going to bet at a high frequency. We can definitely check back sometimes. And that honestly might be one of those boards we would probably consider it with. Other table, we're playing Omaha High. Do get check raised, and I think we're just going to fold this one. My opponent does have the majority of the 4s, and we don't have any pairs, so this seems okay. And we're playing 8 or better on the other table, and just going to be another check fold. Let's get rid of that big blinds. I'm not in love with seeing the big blinds. Calling the 3-bet. Pretty good flop for our hand. And then when he checks back here, I think we have him pretty dead. So I actually want to see if he'll bet. I'm going to go for a check raise. Yeah, already getting a full tilt vibe from the side. I hope that's a good thing and not a bad thing, if you know what I mean. And then Ken does fold. So I think on that turn card, when he checks the flop, I have him so dead. Most of the time. I mean, it could be a trap theoretically, but I don't think he's going for too many traps. Especially when I have all the blockers that I do. So when that turn comes, I feel like going for the check raise is probably a little bit better because he's just going to fold so often. Or like trapping him with one more street to go. Yeah, I think like the whole full tilt idea is good, but you know, we'll see how it goes. King Jack 8-9 and limit Omaha high. And definitely playing, and then board we're just going to bet limit Omaha high a lot with 2 aces when we don't get 3-bet. So we just have so many combinations of aces in our hand. Not just ace-ace, but like a random ace. And he folds. Alright, drum high, opening jacks here on the button. Some convertibility here with straight draws with a king, plus a couple flush draws. A fair bit on there. I remember chopping the double deuce when I got a gazillion runners. Turned 20 into 17K. That seems like a pretty good day. Wow, we got just jacks on this board. Nothing else. No flush draw, no. Alright, I think we're just going to check and draw 3. Sick. Yeah, I mean, that's what I would love to see is, you know, that kind of feel to it. Do make 3 jacks, which is a pretty nutty hand here. And I am going to raise mango for sure. Just so hard to overtake my jacks. And just in case there's any fold equity immediate. I don't necessarily think there is, but 3 jacks are just so good. So might as well make him sweat it. Looks like a hand we can play in so many different games, but not drum high. Yeah, I finished oh, never one of F-Top's jerseys. I finished I had a lot of single digit places. I actually think I would love to go back and actually verify this, but I'm pretty sure the Sunday Night Horse tournament they used to have, it was a $200 16, I think, Sunday night. I'm pretty sure I finished second place 6 times, and I think some people might say like that's impossible. I'm pretty sure I did, and I never won it, which was pretty tilting to be honest. But this PR is like 3-ish here. I think we're gonna check and maybe go for the check raise against Ken. I could go for a check call here too, I guess. But I honestly think my hand plays pretty good as a check raise. Yeah, I mean I'm not folding with the gut shot top 2 and a backdoor. Like I don't love the flush draw out there, but at this depth, I don't think I'm folding. I mean, this could also just be... I mean, he folds for $7 more. What did he have? Oh, he had a 4s. Oh, wow. I mean, he had queen 9, 8, 8. Okay. Alright, so be it. But Levitation folded for $7 more, which is crazy. I wonder if he had the same hand. Yeah, I think I finished second a limit. F-tops, limit hold'em. Like turbo limit hold'em. I finished fourth in like a heads up PLO. Just like they had so many good random tournaments back in the day. The F-top tournaments. Yeah, against this one we just fold. You know, just made it so much fun. Random buy-ins, random. It was great. It was great. Obviously, they totally screwed it up, but and then this getting it in is quite bad. This is really bad. The kings with like no low draw. Did you miss my question above? Andromedugi, is any Badugian open? Oh no, I didn't. I guess I totally missed your question. Where was it? I don't see your question, Jay. Open here, 7s on the button in Dramaha. And we're 3-handed again, so. Not quite sure what the paired open here should be. I think like this is probably close with some convertibility with like, I guess we can draw for aces up / we have like 2 flush draws. Should I try? In Dramadugi, is any Badugian open? Do you ever break it to get a better Doogie? Yeah, sure. Chat pause due to scroll. Where's the chat pause here? And then when we get let into here, I mean, this is interesting. I guess I'm just going to call it just in case he has like a set of 10s. We're not folding the 7-7 in the flush draw. It's just kind of a weird hand the way this one's played out a little bit. I mean, what could he have? He could have like 10-10, 8-9. I mean, that makes some sense. 10-10 with a flush draw. We paired, unfortunately, but we're not folding the set. I mean, could he have 4s? Just putting this one out there. I mean, 10-10 seems like a... 10-10 seems interesting. I mean... I think I'm going to check this one back. This might be a little bit tight, but he does have 10-10, so we make a good check. So in Dramadugi, is there any better Doogie opened? No, you don't open any Doogie for sure. Same kind of concept with respect to like position. You know, in Badugi in general, like you're not going to open like any king under the gun in a 6-handed game. You might open any Doogie from like the cutoff kind of thing. Convertibility does matter, but a lot of times, depending on what your hand is, that convertibility is you're usually, I feel like you're either opening it to draw at the 3 card or you're opening it to keep your Badugi. Here against a pretty wide open, I think we're gonna 3-bet the ace deuce 8 with the ace in our hand and stud 8. So if you can think of a specific example, Jay, I'm more than happy to hear it. And then in this spot, I think checking at some frequency is fine, because we're probably going to get called a lot. And he catches pretty good in a pot that's like not that big right now, so I'm just going to give up. And then I think we're still going to peel here against a wide defense. He catches good again. The ace is a really good card for us too, just because now if he has no pair and like a mediocre low, theoretically we can scoop. Obviously we have a flush draw now too, but he has 2 of my hearts. And we catch the jack 9, and we're just going to have to check fold against that board. I don't think there's value here in calling with ace king high. No, we do block. Nah, we're just gonna give it up. Ace 4, 5, 6, 9. Other table with deuces. Get through. Daisy with the deuce 7. I think this is probably a fold. And then stud 8 here against a loose open with the 5. And we're probably just going to win on the next street. Over here in Badesi, we have a ton of blockers, and we do get 3-bet. We're just going to call, though. And we get the raise in, but I don't think it's going to matter. He's Pat. Well, I guess we're going to draw for the Badoogie here. And we just muck again. Alright, Drama Hunt, we got a 3-card 8, plus we have a 1-card queen draw. And this is one where we're going to bet and I think we're just going to bet again. Interesting. I mean, I guess we don't. I guess we just chop it theoretically here. I don't think. Yeah, we're just. Oh, he gets 3/4. Oh boy. Daisy on the other table here against Moxie. Trying to recognize patterns. Yeah, I mean, it's just tricky in some spots. It's tricky in some spots because I think more often than not, when you open with most Badoogies, your plan is to keep the Badoogie, and if you open with a 3-card, your plan is to ditch it. I mean, the only time I can like think about when you have some convertibility, like say you open 3, 4, 5, queen on the button, and the flop comes like queen, queen, 6. Like that's a situation where you're keeping your queen Badoogie, obviously, because you have trips and you have a Badoogie in your hand too. So, I mean, those are the situations which I think, those are the situations where like you might keep your convertibilities when you have a good Omaha high hand. But I would say in general, when you're usually opening, you're usually you kind of have a plan ahead of time. Here I usually keep the wheel draws in the situation. Plus, I think there's a little fold equity here against Moxie on a later street. So, he takes one. We take one. Pair of 3. 2, 3, 4. We improved to 2, 3, 4. That's a tough one here on the river. Do have a 3-card 4. I think I'm calling, but I don't like it. King, king. He bet the 8 and the king. That seems really bad, actually. That actually seems quite bad. Even though he like scooped me, I think that's actually a pretty bad bet. Here we're gonna 3-bet this one. We make 2 4s on top of that. What is going on here? Since we just have so many blockers on our hand, I think we're just gonna bet here. 3, 4. Where's it go? 3, 4, and 6. Make an 8 Badoogie. And my 8 Badoogie should be good here a fair bit, considering the considering all my blockers. But I'm just gonna call. Yeah, I don't know what Moxie's doing there. Like, I bet every street, and he decides to bet an 8 Badoogie with a king on the river. That makes no sense. I don't know if he's, like, trying to turn his hand into a bluff, but, like... it's quite bad. Alright, PL08 on the other table, and this is a situation where I usually open for smaller size, but I think Ken's going to call more often than not, so I'm opening just slightly bigger. Just checking this one back. Try to realize the gut shot. And again, like, I don't think Moxie should just be... I don't think this sizing thing is, like, a thing, but Moxie kind of defaults to, like, pot sizes in spots that really make no sense. Wow. Ken had Jack 8 and Moxie river the ace. And Moxie's got a hand, he should probably just 3-bet pre-flop, ace jack 9 deuce. And we'll call the min bet with the jack 9 here. And we turn pretty good. Obviously now we're wrapped with the 9. Probably just want to bet pretty big here on turn. We have the majority of the 9s in our hand, I think. He doesn't have too many. He's playing the 8160 game. Alright, same thing here. PLO cap. Flop 3 4s. Start with like half pot bet. We can still get it in this way. Really good turn for us, no low trips, obviously. Start with, let's see if we can get another half in there. That makes some sense because we get to jam river. What a bad river. I mean, obviously we make a full house, but it's a river that's just super annoying because we chop with some hands, obviously now, like low hands, like. Oh, we scooped that one though. We do have the live 3, I guess. This is an interesting one on the other table. We raised pre-flop heads up. We raised pre-flop heads up and got led into and padded. Interesting. This is just such a weird spot. Now flush draw. I think I'm standing pat with this combination. Like, I guess we're dead sometimes, but oh well. Well, we're not folding with full house. It's just such a weird, just like kind of such a weird hand. If he checks, we obviously bet, but deuce 8, 5 9. Yeah, okay. I mean, he actually kind of played it tricky in my mind, so I don't mind that. And they left me. And Moxie 3-bet us pre-flop. We have the bottom of our range. We're just going to give that one up. see if... Start a second table heads up somewhere? No, the problem is it's going to be against Moxie, and Moxie usually doesn't want to play a ton heads up, I guess. I'm not sure. We will see. Slow afternoon. I know Baldy, Baldy can usually get a full table going, but Baldy was streaming earlier today. And, that one broke. He, I think he streamed and then probably had a Vegas tournament to go play somewhere. What are we at right now? Hour 20? We'll play about 10 more minutes in the Chop Shop one, and nothing else goes. We'll just call it, I guess. Too bad this is not Archie. I usually don't cold call here, but I think given the fact that Ken can be pretty wide and we do have trips in our hand, I think we're going to call and draw 3. In this situation here, I'm not a huge fan of keeping the 6. We're going to call and still draw 2 against the bet and raise. And Moxie bets unimproved. Probably unimproved, I would say. And this is annoying because we could definitely face a check raise, so we're just going to fold even though we do block 2 3s. Alright, we have a 9 here on the button, but we do have convertibility to 3-card 7. So usually in this spot we're not keeping the 9, but it gets through. And just checking here with the 3-card draw. And no blockers at all, and just probably folding to any bet. And we do make the pair doogie, which... Oh, we don't have it, do we? We don't have the pair doogie, 3 4 5. Still not folding 3 4 6, I think, here with the 3 4 6 here with the 4. And just check back, and hopefully 3 4 6 is good. It is good. Still with the 3 high cards here. If this queen was a 9, I'd probably call here against Ken. But again, we're just gonna be drawing so thin. Mr. Meowza is in the house, and this is a spot I will defend, even though my hand is like somewhat weak. And now just check fold and catch the king. Again, this is one that we can defend, but if the ranges are a little bit tighter, it's still hard to. Like, if it folds to Meowza and he opens, then I think folding this hand is probably okay. got action again on the other table a little bit. So we'll if we have any interesting hands over there, we'll bring it back up. But see how this one goes. 5, 6, 8 here. I think we're gonna limp this one. And call, and then we break down. We're just gonna fold. Somewhat interesting one over here. We flop a wrap with a straight flush draw to get 3-bet pre-flop. Most likely here we're just going to break the king. Oh, that's a bad card. That's such a bad card. We still got to think call here though. We still have some equity one way or the other to make it straight with the jack low, but I don't. 9, 8. And we do get half. Okay. Obviously, when the 7 pairs, definitely one of the cards that my opponent can have in his range. Here, I think we're going to 3-bet the 1 card 10 low draw. And there's no heart out there, so we're going to ditch this one. Cool. And when we're wrapped on the turn here, I think we can go for a check raise. For check raise when we're wrapped and we make the 10-7. And we have a pair of 3s on the river. I think we just check on this one now. Yeah, I figured he had the queen more often than not, but he's not folding the river with queen. So here we have trip kings in Archie. So play this one just fast. Matter which one we keep, but again, I don't want to start drawing 2 here, so I didn't even see what happened. Did I scoop that one? I was playing the other table. I guess I'll go back and look. Archie here, this is one where I'm gonna look at that one in a second. I think I'm gonna draw the 3 flush. Kind of a pretty loose call, I think, but given the price, we just got. I think we just take the shot once in a while, and then we just give up. Curious, did I win that last one? He did have aces, 1 pair of aces. Oh no, he had a low draw and made aces, it looks like, so. 10. We got the other one over here. Interesting when we had 4, 5, 6, 7 over there and 10 low, pair of 5s. And just keep betting down at this point. Just hope to make our gut shot or 2 pair or trips. Trips should just do it every time. Yep, trips do it. Again, that's why you get stuck in that spot. You know, when I'm not exactly sure what he had, but I think he had King 8 Queen on 5th Street against 3 cards that were basically like undercutting him. And that's the trouble you get into high-low regular. Archie 6-6 here. We're going to start with a call. I think we're going to keep the 8-8-7. It gives us a little bit. Straight draw, flush draw, 2 pair draws. And when our opponent takes 1, kind of no man's land here really with this hand at this point. I still think we call. The question is which way do we want to go with it. Yeah, the 7s are just so weak. That's the problem. But I think I'm going to keep the 7-8-6. And we do make the straight, and we're going to go for the check raise. He checks back, so. And with the 9 high straight here, we still have... do get called occasionally here by like pairs made on the river. So he does make a nice check back there. Here we do qualify with 9s. We're playing this one. To make aces up. Ironically, we have 9s on the other table, but those were not playable in that position. Do get check raise wide away, but we are calling. Now if he takes 1, I still think for the most part we still play a little bit passively. And then if the river checks to us, we just get to bet. We also might get him to bluff the river if he's got no qualifier 2 here in this situation. And we'll just call. Mix a low in the river. So we do miss a raise there, but good news is we're blocking some of his high and his low hands. I think that one's close. I actually probably should have raised the aces up, to be completely honest. But I also think, too, had he missed, he probably would have bluffed at that one. Again, we're going to keep some of the convertibility here with the 7-7-6. And we are going to convert it right away to the... low straight draw. On the other table, we are playing big easy again. Again, this is like one of those no man, like no zone or whatever you want to call it, I guess. But now drawing at the 7-6-4-3, we just don't have good convertibility, I think, both ways. So I think we just check fold this one. Like, even if we make the low, we can still get scooped. If we make a straight, that doesn't necessarily mean that we scoop, so... And here with 3 to a wheel, we do open. We would love to have the ace in our hand, but again, we're playing heads up, so... And this is a hand I think you can theoretically turn your hand into a bluff with. 1 card 8 draw. Well, no bluffing needed now. Big easy, kind of an interesting hand here. Got limped. Meows a checked. Turn I think we bet. Especially blocking a 10 with flush draw. And here on the river, I think we're just going to check it over to him. Yeah, pot size bet. The problem with the pot size bet in this game is usually we just have to give it up. Especially when he decided to check the flop. So unfortunately, I think we're going to fold this one. Especially against a pot size bet. We're not doing a lot of calling in that situation. Even with the 10 high flush, I think. And kind of an interesting one here. We got raised and called. Drawing 2 at the wheel. And I think we check call again. And it's kind of close between keeping the 8 or not, but I think I want to draw still at like aces or 2 pair. And then we break off, and we're just going to have to pretty much get this one up. I feel like we've been playing 12 Archie hands over here. All right, big easy, ace, queen, queen, 4, 5, 7, double, triple. And start with a check. Not really many good turn cards for our hand. Again, Moxie has 1 pot bet button. Just give this one up. And playing Omaha 8 or better on the other table. We flop a really big draw here. Flop a complete wrap with a flush draw. This is just an easy check raise. And now we turn our hand into a bluff unless we get raised. And we do make the 7 high straight on the river, so... And we beat the 10, 8, deuce, deuce. This is kind of an interesting one over here against Meowza. He raised full pot pre-flop, but we're never folding, obviously, on this spot. We're just getting it in now. 1 pair, and I think we win right there. Well, I guess we technically win right away. Three bet pre-flop over on this table with ace, king, 8, 4 double, 2 backdoor flush draws. Pretty bad turn card for our hand. We still have some showdown value with ace king. And just in case my opponent's floating me, I think I'm still going to float once with ace king high. And if he bets river, then I just check fold. Pretty much like the weakest card in my hand. Yeah, and ace king's good. Kind of a fun turn card. I do have 2 deuces in my hand though, so I think I'm going to go for the bet. I'm not too scared of 3-4 at this point, so I think I'm going to bet, try and hope he folds like a weak 2 pair. And I scoop him anyways. Interesting. All right. Pretty. What do you have? 3, 5, 8. So he had a weak low on the turn and just rivered him. And again, ace jack deuce 5 here, double, just so strong. The strong in a 9-handed game, super strong heads up. And then again, on the even on this ace turn with like the live deuce draw and the flush draw, aces up, we're not checking. Same thing on the river here. If we do get raised, we're like kind of sad about it, but I still think we got to go for the value with aces up and a live deuce. My opponent gets to like play perfectly if I don't bet here. And again, we scoop him on the river. He gets counterfeit again. We check for muck. But again, in those situations where you're like really close equity-wise, you definitely want to get in a situation where like you rather be putting the bet in yourself than checking and giving your opponent the opportunity to just bet themselves if check two. Fun flop here with the ace 4-7, and I think we're gonna go ahead and I think we check raise this one. This is drama doogie, and I don't necessarily love it, but there's no spades out there. We have aces up. Plus, we can turn a flush draw. Obviously, that's not a good card. So, or a good draw per se, but we're going to check and call with aces up. Goes 8-8. And just check call with ace-10. And he does have ace-8. But he also took 2 there, so... Alright, 3-5-7. Drama doogie on the other table. We got some convertibility. We're going to open the 3-card 7, I think. Kind of interesting. It goes 4 ways. Other table, we make a 7 doogie. We did get a 3-bet pre-flop. I think this is just a call down given this board. And just call river. Yeah, like he's just going to have an ace so much and just free rolling us from that perspective, and we have no draw. So, Moxie bets here. And I can't keep them both. Well, I'm not going to keep them. I'm just going to draw right there. Oh, other table, sorry. This went 4 ways, I think, and then check to Moxie on the button who bet. So Moxie probably just has a 9 here more often than not. I mean, I don't expect him to have a 9 Badoogie. So he probably just has like a 9 in his hand plus like 3 card, but not much I can realistically do. And it's pretty much exactly what he had. All right. Another interesting spot in Drama Doogie over here. Button raised, and we do have the King Badoogie. And I think we're going to call and break and keep the King Doogie. What do we need? Heart? So, actually, you know what? I think I'm going to break the Kings. And I don't think we're folding the flush here. This is, it's still weak, but, this is actually a hand I would consider check raising, I think. Yeah, I mean, we definitely have the best hand here. For sure. I mean, best high hand here for sure. So if he's just trying to get to showdown, I get it. Did have the best hand with King Badoogie too, but I think we wanted to give ourselves the best chance to make the flush there. Plus, if we miss the flush draw, then we will If we miss a flush draw, then there's a good chance we still make the Badoogie. 2, 3, 6 here on the button. I think I'm going to fold without the ace. Deuce to 7 Raz on the other table. Draw Badoogie is such a complicated game because you're drawing at the Badoogie, you're trying to get an Omaha high hand, and a lot of the combos that you have for the most part you know, it's not like you can, like, theoretically keep your flush draws without sacrificing your Badoogie, so it's just a tricky game. Here we're going to go for the steal with the 3-7 Queen and Deuce Raz. Be interesting here. If, like, Moxie bricks and I catch good and he calls... I mean, I got a queen in the hole, so it doesn't matter, but... Deuce Raz on the other table, too. Interesting. So we got 2 Deuce Raz tables going. Alright, Badoosie. Gonna defend here with 4-5 unless it gets 3-bet. And it does, so we are out. This is a pure steal, but obviously we're going for it. We catch so good. We're still betting, even though they catch us that a lot. I mean, I guess theoretically he can still peel here, but seems like we get folds there a fair bit. Check back here against the queen. I mean, I think he pairs 5s there a decent bit when he checks, but yeah. I guess Badoosie is the flavor of the day over here. Everyone loves them some Badoosie. Deuce Raz, we're just getting steel hands every way. Hopefully he pairs that deuce at a decent bit. He might have a pretty wide range though, so not necessarily, but looks like he did. Uh, 3-5 here on the button is probably enough without the blockers. And we got 2 dead diamonds, so that's a good thing to notice. 3-5-8, we're definitely keeping that diamond though. We're gonna find the right combo here, so there we go. 3-5-8. He bets unimproved here. Kind of interesting. And we do not improve either. We've caught all the diamonds, so I do not expect to see a diamond in that hand. Could have, like, maybe turned my hand into a bluff, I guess, but not really. And then this is a hand I think we want to go for a raise. So we make the 8 doogie with a pair of deuces. I think it's thin, but I think it's probably correct. We get scooped by the 9-7. I mean, Moxie bet unimproved on the first draw into us in a 2-3 spot with a 3-card 6, which isn't that great. Again, I think, I don't know what he's doing today. He seems like he's Doing some funky things for sure. Badusi on the left-hand table over here. Call to raise. Four, five, six. Check call. And our opponent passed, and we just got to give up. Here we cut some blockers. We do make the 10, and most likely I think this specific combo is probably going to be a keep the 10 Badugi. Feels a little icky, but I still think we want to keep this one. If we make a good Badugi here, we lead on the river, but we don't. So we have a queen low, 10 Doogie. We can still theoretically scoop some hands like that. Alright, 5-6 here on the button I think is a little bit too rough. We almost had 2 hours. Don't even know what... These games, ironically, have been kind of following each other pretty well. Limit Omaha 8 or better here. Queen, Queen, 5 deuce. Rainbow. We would open this one if there was a suit. We'd probably 3-bet double suited. Badusi on the other table. We do have 7-4, and this is one where we do defend. We do defend, I should say. 4-5-7. Check, call, and draw 2 again. Again, in these like 3-handed spots, you just got to be a little bit wider. And kind of tricky here in a 1-1 spot. We do have a 3-card 7. We do have the straight draw. I think I'm still calling. I'm not loving it. Obviously not keeping the ace. We do make 9-9. I think I am going to lead this river for what it's worth. He does have number 2, but no doogie. 2-3-6. Yeah, I think that's probably fine. All right, limit Omaha 8 on the other table here with the Jack 10 7-5. Nice call. Alright guys, all my kids woke up. As always, if you guys like what you see, please like and subscribe. Any questions or comments, put them below. If you guys, again, are looking to open a new account, there is a 200% bonus up to 4,000 USDT. You can contact me if you need any sort of information on what to do, but you can click the link below. Click link below or use LMG as sign up. I know, baby girl, you're just waking up. But until then, good luck at the tables. I will talk to all of you soon. Bye-bye.